Surabhiryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidyashvarahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. येषां वृत्तिः समावृद्धा परिपक्वा च सा पुनः ते वै सद्ब्रह्मतां प्राप्ताः नेतरे शब्दवादिनः. येषां वृत्तिः समा वृद्धा परिपक्वा च means येषां ज्ञानम knowledge. This vritti that negates the ignorance and the confusion along with that. This vritti, Brahma Akara vritti, in Nididhyasanam we try to see this, see the fact. And seeing the fact implies a vritti, and vritti disappears afterwards. So this vritti, vruddha, paripakva cha. Vruddha is something that leaves nothing to be desired. It's not vague vritti. It is fully grown vritti. Means it cannot be improved upon. More clarity is not possible. So that kind of a vritti is not some kind of an insight. Paripakva cha. Vritti is paripakva because the antakaranam is paripakvam. Mature. So, and sama. The vritti is of samam brahma. Samavrittihi. Sagaja. Yesham vrittihi samavriddha pariprakva cha sa punaḥ. Again that is paripakva. Te vai sadbrahmatam praptāh. They are the ones who have gained sadbrahma, satyam brahma. And brahmata, bhava, brahmanaha bhava, brahmata, sadbrahmatam praptāh. They are the ones who have gained the knowledge that they are Brahman. Na itare shabdavadinaha, not others who only talk about Brahman. They will say, you are Ananda. You are Ananda, I am Ananda, we are Ananda. We have to become Ananda. We should discover Ananda. You are eternal, immortal, supreme, infinite bliss. You are Shabdavadinaha. Shabda. Shabdavadinaha means they use words. Pramana words they use. They don't handle pramana. Pramana words come. Nityam Shuddham Brahman. They don't come from assimilated knowledge. And therefore, it's called tvādvādinaha. Tvādvādinaha. Nityatvat satyatvam, satyatvat nityam. Brahma, satyatvat nityam Brahma. Because Brahma satyam. Therefore it is eternal, nityam. Because it is nityam, it is satyam. So this is what they call intellectual knowledge. You know, what modern Vedantins call intellectual knowledge. There is no intellectual knowledge, there is no knowledge at all. It's all verbal play. It doesn't have it doesn't touch, it doesn't wet the buddhi. It's all dry shushka Vedanta. It's a dry Vedanta. All floating. Tarkat, satyatvat nityam Brahma. Being satyam, the only reality, it is nityam. Nityatvat satyam. Because it is nitya, it is satya. He calls Shushka Vedanta. One word is a float sand, the other nityatvat is a float sand, and satyam is jet sand. And jet sand makes float sand, and float sand makes jet sand. Both are sands. Not Uncle Sam. So this Uncle Sam saved the collapse. No, Uncle Sam saved its own collapse. And therefore, now Uncle Sam saved the collapse. Who will save Uncle Sam? So that is my old question. So who will save Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam's grandfather. Kushalaha brahmavartayam vṛttyhīnā surāginah tepyajñānatayā nūnam punarayanti yanti ca. Brahmavartayam, in terms of words talking about Brahman, Kushalaha, experts they are. Brahmavartayam Kushalaha. But vṛttyhīnā, they don't have what is Brahman. That vritti. Vṛttyhīnā means ajñānam continues, ignorance continues. The vritti that will destroy vritti jnanam, that will destroy the opposite, ajnanam and confusion about the self-being, not as it is construed to be, it is limitless. And those people, vṛttyhīnāha, brahmavartayam kushalaha, suraginaha, and they have enough ragas. Suraginaha, not ordinary ragas, but good ragas. Good. Suraginaha, you can say they have got enough ambitions, desires, etc. Or you can say they are suraginaha. So ragas are good ragas. I want this, I want to do this, I want to do that. All of them are good ragas, noble ragas. But still ragas, correct? Suraginaha. So either way we can take. Suraginaha. tepi ajnanataya, and they also, being bound by ajnanam, being afflicted by ignorance and confusion, nunam, definitely, punaḥ āyanti. They come back. Until they solve the problems, they will go back also. Āyanti yanti che. They die, they come back and continue to die unless they pick up the thread and finish the journey, complete the journey. The journey completion is getting the proper vritti. The vritti jnanam, make the vritti clear. It's not one-time vritti. You must understand that. So, the vritti jnanam must be complete. And if they have complete knowledge, then he says, nimishārdham na tishtanti vṛttim brahmataya vina brahmamaya vina brahmamayi vina brahmamayi vina tata tishtanti brahmadhyā sanakādhyā sukādayah nimeshārdham na tishtanti vṛttim must be there vṛttim brahmamayim vina. The top is gone here in my that's okay. The top all right. So vṛttim brahmamayim vina, without the vritti. What kind of vritti? Brahmamayi vritti. Brahmamayi, that which is capable of removing the confusion, that vritti. So brahmamayi vritti, because already he has understood. So the ajnanam is not there, but the viparita jnanam is there. And in order to remove this orientation, the orientation that is, I am a limited being, subject to afflictions, I am a karta bhokta, therefore guilt and hurt. So this is a very well guarded property. So it is centered on me. It is not centered on object. It is centered on me. If there is a mistake centered on object, there is no orientation. There is no orientation. Even there some orientation is possible. Like suppose you change the switchboard. As soon as you enter, it used to be on the right side. You know, that's American. So you enter into a house, you go this side. You will find the switch. This is America. It's all standardized. It should be on the right side. But in India it won't be. You have to find out where is switchboard. Therefore they have got all this, they whatever they think it should be there, then they do it. That's why it's wonderful. You have to keep discovering. So explore and discover. And it's wonderful, I like that. So when you touch, you get a shock. Light doesn't come. So you have to be alert. You have to be alert. So you get a shock. Light doesn't come, but you should. And then, so when the light comes, they always do like this. So because this time it came. So, but it's not like that. The light is Bhagavan. Electric light also, they don't consider electric light. They will do it even today. First time when the light is switched on, in the evening, they will do that. prakasha. So much respect for the light of knowledge. Light becomes, the first light is the first Agni, even though it is electric light. But it is Agni. Prakashatmika. Close to Parameshwara. Closer to Parameshwara. Is there anything closer? But there is a logic for that. Agni, the element. And so, this is an orientation. But then, you thought that let us keep it on the left side, it's more convenient. And like this, and then there was some orientation was done. So the left is the switch. Where will you, when you open the door tomorrow, where will your hand go? And after that, I give you another nice example. You have bought this ticket, three-dimensional movie. Three-dimensional movie. You bought the ticket, you got the goggles, you are wearing them, you are supposed to see this three-dimensional movie, you know it. You have a popcorn on your lap, popcorn bag, and everything set. And this movie begins with a brawl, a street brawl. And then the other fellow, he throws the soda bottle he had in his hand, he throws at him. And you duck. You duck into the popcorn. Then that reminds you, oh, the movie, three-dimensional movie. Then afterwards you look at the other fellow. Whether he has seen you. And he did the same thing and he is looking at you. So both are enlightened. And you both come back. This is, you tell me, is it due to ignorance or confusion? No more ignorance, confusion. This is called viparita jnanam. Viparita jnana nivṛttyā, you have to do for the removal of this viparita jnanam, wrong orientation, which has been the orientation all through one's lifetime. If previous lives also are taken into account, then don't ask questions. It is endless, beginningless. And in this life, of course, that's the orientation. Now you are reorienting yourself. And therefore, this will continue. This is called Deha Vasana. Vishaya Vasana, Deha Vasana. This is not the kāraṇa Vasana. There is no kāraṇa Vasana we are talking about. Kāraṇam is avidya. This is just orientation. Vasana means orientation. So this orientation is neutralized by nididhyasanam. That is why he talked about this contemplation. And therefore, nimeshārdham na tishtanti vṛttyim brahmamayīm vina. Once this problem is solved, ignorance gone, this reorientation is complete. That old orientation, it doesn't have any hold over you. Therefore, it's not anymore a matter of memory. Any vritti comes, that vritti is Brahma vritti. Because there is nothing outside Brahman. When you see a wave, you see water. You can't see wave without seeing water. The same truth. There is no other truth. This example is complete. There water you see, here yourself you see. Here yourself you see. And therefore there is no way of my missing myself. Therefore vṛttyā is just me. And then I have somebody who is relating to the subject, to the object, as a subject, that is also me. That ahankara, the pramata, is me. And the prameya, the object, also is me. Both are brahmamayi vṛttyā. Therefore I see that. Later he tells that. So I see both of them, therefore I see myself in both of them. And there is no way of going away even for half a second. And half a minute or half a second you can say, Yatha tishtanti brahmadyaha sanakadyaha sukadayaha. Brahmadi devatas. So they are all free from this kind of confusion because they have sarvajñatva. Therefore brahmadyaha, those devatas, and then brahmadyaha with reference to their station, their sthanam and their office. So they are looked upon as exalted beings. But from their own knowledge standpoint, like even a jiva from his knowledge standpoint, a jiva from the knowledge standpoint is Brahman. Knowledge standpoint is Brahman. And from the upadhi standpoint, a jiva, exalted upadhi. All of them brahmadyaha, because of knowledge. They don't at any one time, half a minute, half a second, any moment, they can't be away from being Brahman. Devatas, one for Devata. Then Mula Rishis, Sanakadyaha. So Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, they are the disciples, original disciples of Ishvara, who revealed this knowledge to them, and from them we are receiving. And these people, Sanakadi, people who initiated the tradition, having received the knowledge from Ishvara himself, and that Sanakadyaha, Adi Guravaha, these are the original gurus, and that is all of them. So they are not Kavi. So Brahman, Kavi, not Brahman. And Shukadayaha, later, in the posterity, in the tradition, Shuka, Vyasa. So then Parashara, Vyasa, all that Shakti, Vasishta, Shakti, Parashara, Vyasa, Shuka, Gaudapada, all these, some names are told in the traditions. It's not that from there it jumps into somebody else. This is a tradition. There may be many disciples of Vyasa teaching all over. And therefore Shankara also is not that he had only 4 disciples. He might have made hundreds of disciples, he might have inspired and taught. And their names are not mentioned, that doesn't mean he taught only 4 people. That's not a correct thinking. Therefore, all of them began teaching, all over the knowledge is there. The whole Bharat, the whole country was with these teachers. Some of them are householders. Housewives had knowledge. And therefore, so they were housewives. All women were housewives. They all had knowledge. In every house, there was somebody. Or party or attai. Param, jnana param. I have seen some of just amazed how much knowledge. They will repeat verses in their own Tamil verses or Sanskrit verses and give the meaning also. Some of them great composers, authors in Tamil. I have seen in Telugu. And there was in Gudivada, in Vijayawada, there was one woman, a mother of 5 children or something. She was such a great Vedanta. Not simple Shushka Vedanta. Dry Vedanta. So, there were people always. But where it is, you won't know. Because they live a normal life. Because a good Vedantin is a normal person. Correct? Isn't it? In fact, Vedantin is the only normal person. Because all are abnormal. Because they think, who is abnormal? The one who has no self-identity. Then where is the normal person? You have to search for that fellow. Because we are all abnormal and therefore we mark each other. You know, we help each other for our mental approval, for our self-approval. We help each other. Because the other one also is abnormal, you are also abnormal. If both are abnormal, then who is to decide you are abnormal? Both are abnormal. Abnormal has to decide that I am abnormal. All are abnormal. That is why in the mental hospital, where people, the only fellow who is not correct is the doctor who comes and goes. If he stays there, he is also one of them. And he is also one of them and he behaves a little differently. That's all. Each one behaves in his own way. And in the mental hospital, the one who is there, and he is also one of them. They call themselves inmates. Okay? So, outside who comes and visits, and they all gang up themselves and say, this fellow is something wrong with him. When there is no self-identity, and it is all wrong, and it is universal, therefore we are all sane, correct? We are sane. By our own definition. And so, this normal, you become more normal than what the word normal you understand. Understanding of the word normal. So that's the beauty. Therefore you don't know where the knowledge is. Therefore all shukadaya, the posterity, shuka downwards, any number of people, they cannot move away from, because it's not a matter for memory. It is yourself. How this is possible? It tells you. Karye kāraṇatā yātā kārane nahi kāryatā kāraṇatvam tato gacchēt kārya bhāve vicāratah. Karye kāraṇatā. Ayat. Karye kāraṇata. Very beautiful here. This is the practice. We are used to this. Karye kāraṇata. Kārane na kāryata. This is the practice. Karye kāraṇata. You see a pot, and then you see the kārana. It has got kāraṇatvam. So karya has got kāraṇatvam, but kārana doesn't have karyatvam. It's called anvaya vyatireka. This is the method you follow in all research work also. Karye kāraṇata. This fungus formation was there. The penicillin was discovered like this. The discoverer of penicillin was culturing certain bacteria, and he found them all died. They are dead. Why? Because he is a scientist. Otherwise you would think there is some bad karma. And so because he is a scientist, he looks into that. He looks into that and he found there was a fungus formation. There was fungus formation. Oh, the fungus formation, is it? The bacteria are dead, therefore fungus, or because of fungus, bacteria are dead. That is the two questions are there. So how will you do experiment? Anvaya vyatireka. This is our own good old method. Put this fungus in another strain of bacteria where bacteria are alive. They don't die. So only this dies, this particular strain. Again you create in this same strain and then put this fungus there. They die. Then you say, oh, this strain is dead and this is the reason. And you keep doing that so many times. But every strain is dead. Then you have penicillin. By this method, this is the reason for the death. Then afterwards, what is the substance in this fungus? Isolate that substance. That's how you do research. Here in understanding Karya Karana, we are now addressing the total reality. Karyam, an effect, is not independent of the cause. Karye kāraṇata asti. You find in the karya, the kāraṇasya anuvṛttiḥ. Kārana continues to be there. But in the kārana, karya is not there. Therefore, wherever there is karya, in effect, there the cause inheres. But in the cause there is no karya at all, in your understanding of the cause. And therefore you can see clay without pot, without lid, without cup, without jar, without brain. You can see clay. What did I say? Oh. So you can see without all that. And you understand, your understanding of clay is clay. It doesn't include pot. And when you see the pot, of course clayness is there. Therefore, one is Satyam and the pot is Mithya. Because it has no substantive, it doesn't have a being. The being belongs to clay. Therefore, when you say pot is, that is goes to clay. And then whatever, the existence belongs to clay. And whatever you have for the word pot to be meaningful, that alone is pot. And it is vyavahara yogya. It is useful for you to fetch water. Or you can use it in music also. So in India we use big pot. And then use pot also is a vadyam, it's an instrument, like a drum. This also boom, boom, boom. So you can do. So you must have qualification for that. So for the one qualification is you must have rhythm, you must have your fingers and all that, you should work. Plus you have to put the pot on here, and this should be able to go inside the pot little bit. Then you pull out and push it, and that will give you boom, boom, boom. Therefore, without that, and some people who don't have anything there, so they can't do it. They should not be Gatavidwan. They should go for violin. Gatavidwan means there should be two parts. And therefore, useful I'm talking. Gata is useful. But no being. No being. Being is only Brahman. That is the being. And therefore, karye kāraṇata, kārane nahi kāryata, kāraṇatvam tato gacche, karya abhave vicārataha. Vicārataha, as a result of vichara, through vichara, inquiry, look at, now what happens? The only kāraṇatvam is there in the karya, because karya disappears. There is no being. Then afterwards, karya is a magic. The magic of Ishvara. That is the magic of God. If God does an ordinary thing like kulala making pot, and so like this, if he also does something, there is no magic, we don't need Ishvara. We need only engineers. But the magic is the creation. Ishvaratvam is just magic. The only being is Ishvara. Ishvara is Satchidanandam Brahma. kāraṇaṃ Brahma. And that is the magic. Now he tells here how to go about this. Very nice. Atashuddham bhavet vastu yadvai vācāma gocharam drashtavyam vṛtgate naiva drishyattvena punaḥ. Not drishtanta. Ata shuddham bhavet vastu. Sarva kāraṇaṃ is Brahman. Being is not there anywhere. Any one thing you say is a Namarupa. Name, form, we have dwelt on this. So everything is name, form, name, form, name, form, name, form, all the down, all the way. Name, form, name, form, name, form. Therefore, every one of them, Brahman, 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 Brahman. Don't think somewhere down below is Brahman. This is the problem. So all the way Vastu is Brahman. Free from Karya. Free from Karya. The Satyam is Asti. All the way. That Asti is Brahman. And that is you, self-revealing you. Brahman means you have an attitude toward the third person. Brahma is that person neutral. Brahma is Aham. There is no other Brahman available. Only Aham Brahma is available. There is no second Brahman. For you to have Aparoksha Jnana. So some indirect knowledge, that's all bunkum. There is only confusion, nothing else. So immediate confusion or immediate knowledge. Aham is Brahman. Self-revealing I is Brahman. There is no other Brahman available. When there is no second Brahman available, the knowledge of Brahman is the self-revealing self. So this self-revealing self is, that is all is. Anything you say is, even confusion is because of this Brahman. Pain is, sadness is, anything is Brahman, plus whatever that you say is. And that plus is purely Namarupa. And therefore, Vastu. Vastu means what is. What is Shuddham. Free from all Namarupa. Punya is a Namarupa. Papa is a Namarupa. Name and meaning. And everything is Namarupa. Buddhi, Manaha, Avyaktam, Ajnanam. All Namarupa. Whether at the causal level or at the effect level, it's all Namarupa. And without Vastu, you cannot say is. That is Brahma, which is Shuddham. Shuddham means free. You need not free it. It is free from all this. And therefore it's not afraid of Namarupa. In fact, it sustains Namarupa. Because it has no weight. Namarupa doesn't throw its weight upon Brahman any more than pot throws its weight upon clay. What is the weight of clay? Weight of pot? That the clay is disturbed above. But we are all disturbed. So if the clay is not enlightened, it will be disturbed. I don't like this pot sitting upon me. I have to tell the pot, the clay, a pot is not sitting upon you. Then what is? First, the ignorant pot says, I am a pot. I am a small pot. So we have these all small pots. So I am a small pot. And therefore I am also a little cracked pot. So this is the one. Yeah. This is a smaller pot, but it tried to make up itself, So, what else it can do? There is a small pot, and therefore it has done a lot of cosmetic, John. And this is a bigger part. So definitely this one has got a lot of complex, very clear. It is heavily made up part. So this makeup is too much. And so this part, suppose I say, you are not pot, you are clay. I say I am clay, you are clay. Then it has got all these questions. Then if I am clay, why I am affected by being pot? Okay? You are not affected. Pot is clay. But pot is clay. How did the clay become pot? Ishvara. So Ishvara made me a small pot. Hey, Ishvara did not make a small pot, you are still clay. If you are clay, you are useless. You are made useful. Okay? Pot is useful. And the other pot is more useful. So what you can do, the other cannot do. How can you say that it can do more? No, you can go into him. It cannot do that. You must understand your selfhood. Okay? You have got your own advantage. You can go inside and come out. The pot cannot do. You ask the pot. Suppose this pot boasts itself. This is boasting pot. Until it meets with another bigger pot. And now this is boasting. Hey, you are a small fellow midget pot. Where are you from? Are you from India? India from where? Gujarat, I suppose. Because this is Gujarat. Oh, you are from there? Okay. And so the midget means this became very bad. And this has some association with me. Therefore it said, yeah, I am a small pot, but what I can do, you can't do. Hey, you are a Lilliput. You are talking like that. So what you can do? Do you want to see? Yes, I want to see. What you can do? Nothing. No, from here it is talking. Now, do you know where I am? Do you know where I am? Oh, you are inside me. Because I am big. Yeah, you are big. Now you go inside me. Let us see. You go inside me. Look at my advantage. I can freely go inside and come out. Before you think I am out. You do? Nothing. I am great in my own way. This is called positive thinking. But still, complexes will be there. This is all just management. Put the other fellow down. That's all. But still, that old complex, I am a small part, is going to be there. Only when both of them are enlightened, I am clay. Pot is not a weight upon me. Pot is a kind of value addition. Useful. Without changing me. Brahman is complete, Purna, you cannot become bigger than what it is. That is why it is called Brahman. Brihi Vruddha. It cannot grow bigger than this. And it is Purna, limitless. And that is you, self-revealing you. Any addition, limitless plus any addition is limitless. No addition, really. That's the magic. And therefore, Shuddham Bhavet Vastu. He uses the word Vastu now. Atma Vastu. Yate Vācāṃ Agocharam. That which is not an object, Gochara means Vishaya. That which is not an object for words. That which is not available for the words to objectify as their immediate meanings. That's the meaning. Otherwise we can't teach. Therefore, it is not the vāchyārtham. The meaning, vastu, is not the meaning of a word as we know. The vastu is the implied meaning. Therefore, we need to, any word you use, we have to negate and then use the dhātvṛttyā, the meaning of the dhatu, the root. That alone is there, and that happens to be I, self-revealing, therefore it works. Words work. Vācāṃ agocharam. Drashtavyam, that vastu, drashtavyam. Mridgatena drishtantena. By the clay pot, by the illustration of the clay pot. Punaḥ, again and again. You require only one example, because every example is the same. So one example, you look at it and then see punaḥ, drishtantena. Look at the pot and see what is clay. And still the pot is there. See that. Seeing that is not an ordinary vision, knowledge. It is knowledge. We count the parts. Pot is substantive. Clay becomes an attribute. And you say clay pot. Mridgata. The language is like that, and our orientation also is like that. Language reveals our orientation. So you have to reverse the whole thing. Reorientation. And therefore, all that is there is mrid. See that. Punaḥ, again and again. See the drishtanta, the illustration, and then look at yourself. Whatever you confront, whatever you experience, whether you experience so within, or there is a relevant object outside, it's all the same. From memory you experience, or a new perception involving an object outside, a situation outside. It still is, that is consciousness. That way, mridgata drishtantena punaḥ shuddham vastu pashyet. May one see the shuddha vastu. Anenaiva prakarena vṛttyā brahmātmika bhavet udeti shuddha vichitānaṃ vṛtti jnānam tatah param. kāraṇaṃ vitirekena pumanādau vilokayet anvayena punastadhi karye nityam prapashyati Karyehi kāraṇaṃ pasyet paścāt kāryam visarjayet kāraṇatvam tato gacchēt avasishtam bhavet munihi. That's good. Anenaiva prakarena, very beautiful set of verses here. Anenaiva prakarena, by this method only, eva, vṛttyā, antakarana vṛttyā, buddhi vṛttyā, brahmātmika bhavet. So this mridgata drishtantena, by mridgata drishtanta, by this drishtanta, by this illustration, you recognize the fact karya is in effect like the pot is the cause. There is no real effect. Categorically, you cannot say real. You can't, of course, dismiss as totally non-existent. That is why there is a word called pot. And therefore, that you have to understand. That is where Ishvara is. Brahman as Ishvara, kāraṇaṃ. But kārane there is nothing. Kārana is here. And therefore, in that, even seeing the pot, you should recognize the clay being free from being a pot. Because the same clay you recognize in a lid, you recognize in a lump. And that clay buddhi you come to bear upon the pot. So you recognize the existence as clay. The being of pot is the being of clay. Now extend that what you have understood there to sarvalokānāṃ. You. Pot is not self-existent, it has no being. The only self-existent is you. That lends being. Self-revealing, self-existent consciousness is being. You add space, so space, distance. Suppose you have some knowledge of distance, perception between two objects. And that is consciousness. What is the distance between distance and consciousness? Time you think of, any object you think of, it's all like a pot. And the adhisthāna kāraṇaṃ, not simple kāraṇaṃ cause, adhisthāna kāraṇaṃ. At least the clay has undergone some small change by being baked. But here, adhisthāna kāraṇaṃ, it is not subject to any change. Limitless consciousness, self-existence. And therefore, this anena prakarena vṛttyā brahmātmika bhave. Vṛttyā will become Brahmaswarupa. That Brahma means Brahman is you. So Brahmaswarupa bhave, limitless. Any one thing you turn and you find Brahman. You have to do like this and then see Brahman. Then see yourself. In all perceptions you see yourself. You have to do like this. Like a oscillating fan. That's your practice, okay? And therefore, udeti shuddha chittanam, don't go about oscillating, okay? Yeah. Your mama put chutthanu. Now vepala adikanu. And shuddha. What I say, you one time you can do and then see. Are you there or not? See. Every perception you are there. This is how it is. Then, udeti, then and all that has no meaning. Ataf param, thereafter, udeti, rises, vritti jnanam. That vritti jnanam that we talk about, the knowledge that takes place, that vritti jnanam, vṛttyā jnanam, vritti jnanam, that vritti jnanam, ajnana virodhi, that which is opposed to our confusion and ignorance, and that goes away, in the wake of which knowledge, that knowledge will take place. Why should it not take place? Therefore, there is no hindrance. Udeti. For whom, he says that. But why it doesn't rise for me? He has put one small word, Shuddha Chittanam. He makes himself safe. Shuddha Chittanam. The Chittam should be Shuddham. Shuddha means there should be no obstacle from inside. Ragadvesha, so our own likes and dislikes hold over the mind. Unprocessed certain debris inside, whatever that is there. Debris and word I don't like that. Whatever that is inside, unprocessed. It's all born of grace. And therefore to save the child, whatever that is there, that needs to be processed. Then there is nothing to stop. Therefore, Shuddha Chittanam, Udeti Vritti Jnanam. And again he confirms this. Kāraṇaṃ vatirekena puman ādau vilokayet. Karya vatirekena kāraṇaṃ ādau vilokayet. Without the karya. First see only kāraṇaṃ. Don't reckon the effect. The part. Only cause you see. Clay alone you see. Even when you have the pot, you see only clay. Kāraṇaṃ karya vatirekena avalokayet. So vilokayet. Ādau puman. Puman, this person. Ādau, initially, first would recognize, would reckon only the kāraṇaṃ, the cause. Here, clay. And similarly, understand, this is a very important thing. This is why we say drigdrishya. This drigdrishya viveka, the subject-object viveka. So we do, every object that I objectify is not I. We do it with reference to the external world. If the donut is outside me, then it is not me. That's only an inviting object. But it causes some problem also, causes some conflict inside. Because I don't want calories extra. But then, the donut, I like donut. So I want donut. How much? I will take half of it. So this is all conflict. It's all outside. Until it is outside, it is donut. Full of calories. Once it has gone inside, then what? I am donut guilty. And donut becomes a part of my I. And every day I take donut and therefore I am fat. And so I am fat. Donut constitutes these donuts, pile of donuts and their friends. There are other friends, French fries and all these films. There are other friends. All of them constitute aham, I. They constitute I. Hey, outside it is a donut, once gone inside it becomes me. How? How? Outside it is insentient donut full of calories. And once it has come inside part of you, then it becomes the fibers of ahankara. It becomes part of this ahankara. How? How? Still it's a donut. Look at it. And that is donut. This karya, the physical body, is made up of calcium, carbon, phosphorus. And then suppose you have a pile of calcium, carbon and a few other minerals, and you don't say this is me. It's calcium. That's what it is. Carbon is what it is. So outside carbon is carbon. It's not good for you. But one's body is me. So it's all carbon and calcium. So calcium. So objectify all of them. What is drisya? This is drisya. This is a method of objectify. You objectify and say, outside is not I, this is not I, body is not I, mind is not I, senses are not I, because I objectify them, I is. This is kāraṇaṃ. This is satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma, sarvalokānāṃ. First, recognize this kāraṇaṃ. This is an important thing. Self-evident being, you first arrive. From there come out and look at every karya, because they are lying there, anatha. And therefore come and embrace all of them. Every one of them. You have to take every one of them and say, all of you, I have negated. In fact, all of you are me only. So take them back. You are all me. I am not any one of them. You are all me. This is what he tells here. This is meditation, contemplation. Kāraṇaṃ ādau vilokayet, karyam vina. Then anvayena tadhi karye nityam prapashyati. Then afterwards, when you look at karya and say kāraṇaṃ anvayena prapashyati, being present there. So any karya is never away from kāraṇa. And we have got only one kāraṇa, and that is Brahman. That is self-revealing you. And therefore any object you perceive, it's me. It's me. You can say any object you perceive Ishvara, who is satyam jnanam anantam brahma, and that satyam jnanam anantam brahma is I. Ishvaroham. So, anvaya. Kāraṇaṃ anveti karye. Kāraṇaṃ has got anuvritti. Kāraṇasya anuvrittihi karyeshu. In every karya, kāraṇaṃ inheres. You can't have, if the thread, the yarn is silk, it's a silken yarn, the fabric will be what? Silken fabric. Not only kāraṇa, silk is there, silk is there. And the gunas, the attributes of silk also are there. Kāraṇa gunas karyeshu vartate. Anuvritte. So, in all namarupas, there is kāraṇa. So, nityam prapashyati. Karye, once kāraṇaṃ becomes clear to you, nityam karye prapashyati. Kāraṇaṃ, you can two levels we can take. First, Parameshvara is the kāraṇaṃ. In karye, Parameshvara is there. My body also is a karya, mind is karya, senses are karya. All that is there is only Ishvara. And who is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Ahamasmi. This is how it is understood. Karyehi kāraṇaṃ pasyet paśyāt kāryam visarjayet. Karyehi kāraṇaṃ pasyet. In the karya, in every karya, kāraṇaṃ pasyet. Jagat, anything you see, kāraṇaṃ pasyet. See the presence of Ishvara. 2 steps I take. First, to see the presence of Ishvara. Then it will be complete. Presence of Ishvara, so simple consciousness is not totally enough because we have to accommodate knowledge that is involved, structures involved, laws involved, and therefore you take Ishvara's, this is all Ishvara. And Karana, he is the Karana, he is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. The efficient as well as if there is any material that cause. He is Ishvara and in the Jagat is Ishvara. In the form of order, you can accommodate all of them. Then afterwards, Koyam Ishvara, who is this Ishvara? Is myself. There is no afterwards. You can see all the way the whole thing. Or see Ishvara, then another step, next step you can take. Karyehi kāraṇaṃ pasyet paśyāt kāraṇaṃ kāryam visarjayet. It's true. The limitless consciousness is me. And bring in the world. Limitless world is me. Because limitless consciousness plus doesn't become pushed away because of the world came. What is this? Sing song? Seesaw? A seesaw. World came, Atma went away. And Atma came, world went away. This is what? Nirvikāratayā, savikalpa. Vikalpa. So you remove the world, then you see Atma. Then the world comes, Atma goes inside. Yeah? Seesaw. This is Vedanta. And so, visarjayet drishti, change of drishti. Visarjayet karyam. Then karanam also goes. The karanatvam goes. That's what he says here. Karyam visarjayet. Karanatvam tato gachet. Then karanatvam also goes away. Brahman being karanam with maya, that also goes away. That's why it's called maya. That also goes away. When the karya goes, karanatvam, the status of karanam goes. Don't say karanam goes. That means Brahman goes. When the karyam goes, karanatvam, the status of karana goes. Vastu is there. It happens all the time. So, karanatvam tadavichet, avasishtam bhavet muni. And the contemplator muni is Brahman. Karanam sarvakaranam Brahma. What was called sarvakaranam Brahma? Brahma, Shuddham Brahma. Nitya Shuddham Brahma. Okay. Now I have kept it at the right place. Tomorrow I just, you with both my hands swinging, I will cover all of that. No problem. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnah Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Namaha.